Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And we're back with horrible ways to die.
And we're very excited about it.
Well, I am. We left off number...
They're not numbered.
10.
They're not numbered.
Nope, they're not, all right, they're not numbered.
So we finished with a thoroughly biblical stoned, and now we open with...
Drowned.
Ooh.
Yep.
Now,
This is a little different from the set adrift version of Left in the Desert, as in this one they are actively using the water to kill you.
yeah, this is more akin to strangulation. I'm wondering, is this really just a subset of Poena Cullei?
I mean...
Like, what do you do? Okay, when you're thrown into the sea, a sack snake sea, what kills you? Do you drown, or do the animals rend you apart?
I mean, I imagine
Especially if it's a badger.
I imagine it's much like the torture with the rats, where the thought is that the animals will freak out about them being drowned, and
then
that's
really
what kills
get you. Yeah. Okay, so drowned is then distinct. I guess the positive thing about drowned is similar to strangulation. It's awful. I was a swimmer all through my youth, so I'm really terrified of drowning. Mm-hmm. But you're going to lose consciousness relatively quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to suck until you do, but after that...
Yeah, it really kind of goes back to the strength. I agree with you. It kind of goes back... Well, no, I disagree with you. It kind of more goes back to the strangulation one. Mm-hmm. In that, at some point in time, before the rest of your body has gotten the message, your brain is going to become deprived enough of oxygen that you're going to black out.
Yeah, just nope, we're not having this anymore.
But there's a lot more panicking in drown.
There's a lot more panicking, yeah.
I was a lifeguard. The main thing you have to worry about is the drowning person drowning you. Mm-hmm. So you have to ambush them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So next on the list.
So next we have being dismembered, which I suppose would also include any other method in which you're essentially bled out.
And this is the removal of body parts other than the head.
Yes. Distinct from beheading.
Yes. That's awful. Just terrible.
I mean, the only plus for martyrdom is that they're pre-setting up your relics.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so it's efficient anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, on this list, I have one that I need to move up with it. Because we had one person who was sawed to pieces. Which is also,
It's a form of dismemberment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I guess there it depends on how they're doing it. So, like, are they taking care that you don't relatively quickly bleed to death to make it more torturous? Yeah, there's all kinds of ways this gets super dark super quick.
It's super quick, yeah.
Okay, so we're now going to switch to something more lighthearted, being shot.
Yeah.
Now, this is only something that happens in more modern martyrdoms,
yes,
but it's awful.
I mean, you could be shot with an arrow.
Yeah, although that's not what killed Saint Sebastian.
No.
As we all know from the REM video. Yeah, so... Yeah.
At least not the first 4 times.
So, again, shooting...
Cannonballs would also count under this?
Yes. Shooting can go really well. If it's done right, you'll die pretty quickly. If it's not, if like your gut shot, that can take quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, there are numerous ways that you can be shot and survive. So,
yeah, but we're talking about martyrdoms.
We're talking about martyrdoms. So I'm just saying they could be a really bad shot, and it might take them a while to actually get one that is lethal.
Maybe try to show like some defiance, so that they'll definitely shoot you dead.
Yeah. I mean, if this is one that you're that you're seriously having to, well, not to be funny, look down the barrel at. You should probably go. You should probably go with taunting the executioner.
Of the martyrdoms we discussed, this is an early leader for least objectionable because it can go so relatively well for you.
Yes,
it can be as a martyrdom.
Realistically speaking, it can be very quick and relatively painless if they do it right.
Mm-hmm. Plus, no badgers.
Yes, in opposite of the one of where we discussed being stoned and all the people that their guilt.
Yeah.
A lot of these are executions where the tradition is only half of you have actual bullets.
They don't even know which one killed you. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or 2 of you have bullets and everyone else is firing.
Yeah. 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 All right,
Yes.
Nate.
So at the same, so the only problem I have with that is
You're still working for a corrupt regime if you're going to go around martyring people by shooting them to death.
I was going to say they do that so that nobody has it on their nobody necessarily has it on their conscience that they were the one who did the killing, because it could very easily have been somebody else who did it. Mm-hmm. But there's a flip side to that coin in which everybody has it on their conscience because they all actively participated in the shooting of a person.
But that said, I think trying to project, I think I can more easily reconcile myself to being a member of a firing squad as opposed to being the dude that loaded a sack with scorpions.
Yes, no. Absolutely.
There's no way to defend that. What are you doing? I filled this bag full of scorpions. Let's put a dude in there.
And realistically, if we were building a like top 20 kind of a list where the top one was actually the least desirable and the bottom one was the least objectionable. Was least objectionable of all these choices, it would definitely be in like the bottom 5.
Yeah. All right. So we've been shot. Now moving on.
Moving on, we now go to one that is nowhere near fun. It's definitely going to hurt. It's going to hurt for probably a longer time than you think.
And it's one of those ones where we don't have exact details on how this was their way of being executed.
We'll definitely we'll discuss that. But what is it, Nate?
I have a pretty good idea how that one works. Hot poker to the head. Yeah. That one is going to be painful, and it's going to be one of those ones where it's painful on a level that time actually probably slows down, and while it may only take you a minute to die, it's going to feel like it's going on for...
Describe more about how you think this is going. Are you talking about a striking action, or are you talking about a piercing action?
No. If we're making it red hot, we are not wasting our time with striking.
That's fair.
I like to imagine that they just had a hot poker and they still used it
They just whacked him to death. I'm sorry, no.
After that, they're like, just tending the fire.
So what I'm
it's
seeing...
It's completely impractical, but...
What I'm seeing in my mind, we've got a rod of solid steel. Mm-hmm. It's been placed in a fire and heated up to a nearly red hot kind of a thing.
But I don't know. This is specifically hot poker to the head, so I'm thinking more to just a household implement.
It's got like I'm just saying, it's a rod.
Sure. It's a piece of
metal. At least the end. Is cast iron or solid steel. It's pointy and sharp,
and it's red hot,
and it's been left in a fire to the point where it got roasty red hot.
Yes, I mean,
and in all likelihood, given the design of the human skull, if you were going to try and put it through somebody's head, I'm actually thinking either.
Of course,
the ocular cavities.
One of the vulnerable spots. Sure.
Or the oral canal.
Yeah, why try to break through the hardest part?
Why try going through the part that's actually built to take a beating when you could just pick one of the weak spots and...
But I guess there the good news is, it's going to perforate the brain and you should be unconscious, dead pretty quickly. I'm imagining. Not a physician.
I imagine once you get home with it, if you will.
But it's a long way there.
It's probably going to be fairly short from there to the job getting done. But like I was saying earlier, I imagine this is one of those kind of pains that slows down time, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The one where it hurts so much that even if it only went on for like 30 seconds, it would feel like you were there for like half an hour.
Yeah. No bueno.
This is definitely in my top 5 worst.
Try not to get martyred by a hot poker to the head.
Yeah. Avoid that at all costs.
Not at all costs. Don't deny Christ.
Well, all right. All reasonable.
I mean, I think Mike's issue is he's imagining the modern, like, I have a little fire and I just, like, poke it, and not, like, the traditional, historic when you were, baking bread in a giant oven type pokers.
If this becomes more spear-like, okay, we can get this over quickly.
Like the modern ones be like, I might be able to take it.
Not if they go into the eye.
Not if it goes to the eye, no.
No.
All right.
You gotta fight it off before it got to that point.
Next, we have another classic that's experienced a lot through Christian history.
Yes, dear.
Oh, it is my turn. Wild animals.
Yep. So this will
not
cover.
In a bag.
No, these are not bagged wild animals. This is primarily going to cover all of your Colosseum martyrdoms, the lions, the tigers, and the bears. Oh my!
Yes, or your Daniel type situation where it's not a Colosseum, but you are still thrown into a pen with them deliberately.
Yeah. The Daniel one would work.
Although he walked out fine.
I mean, it probably also would cover non-wild animals.
Under Burned Alive earlier, we forgot. On that note,
barbecue?
we forgot the barbecue. We mentioned gridiron, but we forgot Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah, we're totally fine. We're totally fine.
Yes.
Hanging out at the fire disco with the angels.
Hey, who's that fourth dude?
And where did he learn how to cabbage patch?
So,
well, I mean, then you have to discuss whether it was an angel, or they said angel, and it was actually God. So that you could then argue that he has known how to cabbage patch before the beginning of time.
He taught everyone else how to cabbage patch.
Well, that's just true. God exists outside of time and space, so even from the beginning, he knew of the cabbage patch.
All right, so wild animals.
Now,
suddenly now I'm imagining, the Lord randomly having, like Gundam style stuck in his head and during his earthly life and not exactly knowing what it is because he doesn't speak English or Korean.
I haven't invented Korean yet. What's going on?
Be like, that's super catchy.
Now I'm just picturing Jesus like at the Sermon on the Mount. Doing you just grooving to the Macarena. What is that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No.
I haven't told myself all of it, but it's very catchy.
Sermon on the Mount. He was still in staying alive mode.
So give this a like, subscribe to our channel, ring the church bell to be notified the next time a plot is uploaded. Please don't get martyred. And until next time.
Please don't martyr anybody else.
Definitely don't do that.
And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.